Now let's work on a very important and interesting function, which is going to be the click outside of an element. So simply we're going to have a function that detects when you click outside of an element and allows you to run any type of code. Most used is going to be your hide it. So for example, when you click outside of this element, it hides it. You click outside of this menu, it hides it, okay? But our function is going to be a bit versatile, so you can, hide it and also have another function. So you can run any type of code you want and do whatever calculation or whatever you need, okay? When you click outside of that element, not necessarily hide it, okay? So it's going to be versatile and it's going to be easy and to do, so you can have it and use it in any type of projects you want, and it's going to be a bit crucial for our projects, okay? So let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a div. It's going to be card. This is all we're going to do the test on. So let me show you what I'm going to do. So the height is going to be 500 pixels, okay, and the width is going to be 500 pixels, and the BG is going to be red, okay? So now we have this element right here, and we're going to do tests on it, okay? So we're going to create the function. So let me go to the source. I'm going to have a new folder. Let's call it helpers, and inside this we're going to have the function. Let's call the file click outside.js, and here we're going to have our function, okay? So it's going to be export default function, and the function we're going to go, let's click outside, and then we're going to have a reference. The reference, we're going to show you how to do it, which is going to be the reference of this element and also the function that you want to run. So let's call it fun, for example, okay? So I'm going to have our code right here. So we're going to have a use effect. You probably know what it is. If you don't know, I'm going to explain it. So this is a use effect. So this is a function. We have something inside this, okay, right here. So this is a code, for example, like console log something use effects, okay, like this. First of all, it's not gonna work right here. So the reason why, because this function is gonna start with use and then it's gonna be capital, so it's a React hook, because you can't run use effects on a normal function right here in the file. You need to add the use in the beginning, and then the first name is going to be capital, so it's understandable to be as a React hook, so it's acceptable to use like use effects and use it on other stuff. It's okay. So now quickly let me explain use effects for people who don't know. So just a function that runs everything inside it at least one time. So this is the dependency tree for it. So if we leave it empty, this code gonna run one time when the page loads or the function is run. So let's go back to the home. Let me call the function right here. So use click outside and just run it, okay? Import it and run it. If we go back right here and open the console, let me refresh, you're gonna see the function runs and this console log use effect that we have right here, okay? So this is normally how it works. When the page loads, the components loads, or the function runs, it's gonna run everything inside this, okay? But there is another twist to it, is that you can add dependencies. For example, we can have a variable, let's call a, and it's gonna be equals 0. And let's add this a as a dependency right here, okay? So now the thing is, this function is gonna run every time this a changes, okay? So let me refresh, it's been run once. Now let's go to a and make it 1. You're gonna see the function runs again, 2, it runs again, back to 0, anything, changing. So no matter what's the value, when it changes, it's just gonna run the function again. So this is simply what the use effect is. So it's pretty cool to use. So we're gonna add the reference as a dependency here, because whenever we change the reference, the use effect is gonna run again, okay? So this is simply what use effect is. So let me take everything inside from here, and first of all, we're gonna have a listener, and I'm gonna show you why. And it's gonna take an event, and then we're gonna have our function like this, okay? So the simple thing we're gonna need, the first thing that we're gonna make sure is that the reference that we pass is actually referencing to an actual element that exists. So we can't just go and try to hide something or detect where it is when it doesn't exist. So simply, first of all, we're gonna see that the reference.current, which is gonna be the element, doesn't exist. We're gonna catch it, okay? That's the first thing. And also we're gonna make sure that we are not inside this. So if we are inside this and we're clicking inside this, nothing is gonna happen. We're working when we click outside. So, and this is gonna be simply achievable by going to the reference and then current and see if it contains the e, which is the element or the event, and then we're gonna see the target, which is gonna be the exact element. So right here, if one of them is true, let me just show you what I'm gonna do. So when this is true, so the element doesn't exist or we are inside this, we're not gonna run everything. So all our code is gonna go when we are outside of this and the elements exist, okay? So we can go right here and add return, because we're not gonna do anything, okay? Else, we're just simply gonna run the function that we have, which is gonna be fun. So this is exactly what we're doing, okay? And now I want to add the event listeners, okay? So which is going to be the click outside, okay? So I'm going to go to the documents and add event listener. and it's going to be mouse down, and I'm going to explain what's the difference. So the on click difference between them is the on click is when you click outside. So you have your mouse, you're going to have the left side, which is that you click. So that's when we capture when on click. Okay, but the mouse down, it's captures when you click on the left of the mouse or the right of the mouse or the middle of the mouse. Okay, just forget my voice. It's actually just been recording for a long while, so my voice sometimes freezes. Okay, so as I said, mouse down captures all the events or the clicks that you have in your mouse. So if you click on the left, it counts as a click. If you click on the right of the mouse, it counts as a click, and in the middle. So the code is gonna run whenever you write on the click side, the right side, or the left side, or the middle. Okay, so this is what I'm doing, and we're gonna pass the function that we wanna run when we do this, which is gonna be the listener. And also we're gonna add it to the touch, which is the same one, but this time it's gonna be on touching and not clicking, which is going to be touch start. Okay, and we're going to clean this, so return, which is a simple process for events. So we're going to go the same ways, and it's not going to be add event listener. Let me just copy them, and let's go right here and change it to remove event listener, like this. Okay, so now we can go back to the home itself. So now let's refer to this card. Okay, so simply, first of all, let's create a reference. So let's create const, let's create, for example, L, and it's going to be equal to useRef, which is going to be called from React, and in the beginning, the initial value is going to be null, and we're going to go to the card and reference it to this element, which is going to be L. So now we want to run the function, which is going to pass the reference that we reference the elements with. So we're going to pass the element, and right here you're going to pass the function. You can write a separate function and call it by name right here, or you can create the function right here. So you can just go and have an arrow function and do whatever you want right here. So simply you can go ref.current.style, and you can play with it like display, and it's going to be equal to none. And this is not going to be ref, is going to be elements. Okay, so this is how you change it. Let me just go. Let me see what's the problem right here. Okay, yeah, this is a problem. This is going to be before, because we're going to need to initialize it first. Okay, and if we refresh, there's no problem. Now if we click outside, it's going to hide, and as you see, it's been hidden. Okay, so that's the way you can do it, or the best way to do it, we're going to do it this way, and also you can hide this in a different way, which is going to be by using a state. So const, we used this before, so like for example visible, and say it's visible, and it's going to be in the beginning, use state, and it's going to be false in the beginning. Okay, like this. And let me remove this function, and we're going to do it again. Let's just have the reference. Okay, so we can go right here, and this element is not going to be shown. Okay, unless visible is true, for example. Okay, so like visible, when it's true, then it's going to be shown. So now visible is false, it's not going to be shown, so the main or the initial value is going to be true. So now when it's true, then it's going to show. So if we want to hide this, we can just play with the value of the visible and make it false, and then gonna disappear. Okay, so we can go use click outside, and right here pass the reference, which is the element, and then the function that we're gonna run right here, which is gonna simply set the visible to false, and we're gonna change the value of false, and this is not gonna be shown. Okay, and simply now we click outside, and it's not gonna be shown. Okay, so this is how to hide elements using click outside. You can just run any function right here, so you can just refresh this. You can also like console log you clicked outside. Let me go right here, and I'm gonna click outside. As you're gonna see, that's gonna be put right here. Okay, like this. Okay, I can use like the right mouse, and then it works also. I'm gonna click on the middle, and it's also work. Okay, that's why we use the mouse down. One of the things that I forget to test also is that when we click outside, it disappears, but when we click inside this, is nothing can happen. So as you click inside this, nothing's gonna change or happen until you click outside. Okay, so that was for the function. It was pretty simple to make, nothing especially hard. So I'm gonna use this across all our application. So I'll see you later.